when we look at this kind of a problem, they want to know what determine the vertex is. Okay? And they want to know what else? The x and y intercepts. Okay. Well, let's see if we can graph the function real quick. Do we know what kind of function it is? What's the parent function?
Quadratic.
Quadratic. Okay? So it should look like this. F of x is equal to x squared, right? Whereas it has this look to it. Is that right? Okay. And what are we doing to it? What does this tell me?
Vertical stretch.
Vertical stretch. Of 2, right? Right? So what that means is I'm going to stretch it like this. Right? So I'm just kind of making it skinnier. Does that make sense? Okay? What else am I doing? What does this tell me? Vertical shift. Which way?
Left 3.
We're not there. But vertical, that's could if we were there. But vertical shift down 4. Right? So what that means is I'm coming down 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay, that's good. But that's not all we did to it though, right? We did something else. So right now we've got this skinny one that is like this, right? But then we did something else to it. What's the last thing we did, or another thing we did? Yeah. This is a horizontal shift and opposite. This is saying right, but we do the opposite of right, so it's left 3. So that means I'm moving it 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, right? So from here, we're moving it over to here, and we're keeping it skinny. Does that make sense? Do I know the vertex right here? If I moved it over 3, wouldn't that be x is negative 3? And if I moved it down 4, wouldn't that mean that it would be negative 3, 4? Right? Do I know if it's opening up or down? Up. Okay, so, and then what are the x-intercepts at that point then? X and y intercepts, right? So, when we set this equal to 0, we can find the x and y intercept, right? And then when we plug in a 0, or find f of 0, then we can find the other one, right? So I know the vertex, okay? The x and y intercepts. Well, I've got x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 4 times 2. How did I do that? Well, I did x plus 3, and I did my little trick. The trick is this squared, and this times this times this. Okay? This times this is the middle. Or you can do x plus 3 and go, everybody on the block gets the paper, and then add it all up. It's up to you. Now, everybody on the block gets the paper, so I get 2x squared plus 12x plus 18 minus 4. And so 2x squared plus 12x plus 14, right? All right. So what is my y-intercept? 14. Okay. So f of 0 is equal to 14, right? And then could I factor out anything?
Yeah.
What? 2? So I got x squared plus 6x plus 7, right? And then what? Can I factor?
Yeah.
What do I factor?
X plus 6 is actually 1.
So x plus, they're the same. Two things that multiply to be 7 and add to be 6.
Other way.
Oops. That's not going to work, right? So I'm not going to be able to factor this one, right?
What did you do to this thing of you 2 times x squared plus 6 plus, or 6x plus 9?
Huh?
What? Just kidding.
Is that right? Yeah, I factored out a 2, right? But the thing is, what I'm worried about is this guy, right? So it's not working, so I'm going to have to use quadratic formula. Can't factor it. So I've got A, B, and C. So negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. I thought it was going to be a nice factorable one, but it wasn't. Okay? And then I've got to plug this out. So B is 12, A is 2, and 2, and 14 for C, right? And so I've got negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 144 minus 4 times 14 times 2. So 4 times 8, 14 times 8. So 80 plus 4 times 8 is 32. So 80 plus 32 is what, 112? Okay, all over 4. And then what is 112 from 44? So wouldn't that be 32? Okay. So what we have here is, I got to break down to 32. Well, I know that that's 2 to the 5th, right? 2, 16, 2, 8, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2, 1. You're done. There's my pair. So I have 12, negative 12, plus or minus. 2 times 2 is 4, square roots of 2, all over 4. Does anything go into both of those? All 3 of these, I should say. Yeah. 4. How many times?
Once.
Minus 3. Once. And once. Right? So our other equation, or our other x-intercepts, are going to be negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 2. So that's your x-intercepts and y-intercepts, meaning you're going to have to do the quadratic formula. Okay? In other words, sometimes if they ask for those x-intercepts right here, we got to do quadratic. The y-intercept is right here. Pretty simple. Okay? How much time we got?